Okay, so let's start with the Time 100, and then we can talk about that other ridiculous gathering that's happening this weekend. So I know you've been at...
Megyn Kelly kicks off with a jab, comparing the Time 100 Gala to a reigning Jeopardy champ, but questioning its authenticity. This sets a skeptical tone, positioning her as an outsider peering into Hollywood's glossy facade. The PR strategy. Here is branding. Kelly leans into her image as a no-nonsense commentator who cuts through hype. Is this genuine doubt or a calculated move to grab attention? Her flippant tone suggests she's deliberately stirring the pot, knowing her audience, loves her unfiltered takes. By dismissing the event's prestige, she aligns herself with viewers who suspect elite gatherings are more show than substance.
And you had people like Blake Lively, who was there with her husband Ryan Reynolds. By the way, they were there. I think she was inducted the first year I was inducted too. We're on the same path with these people.
Kelly slams Blake Lively's Time 100 inclusion as a ridiculous joke, tying it to her shaky claims against Justin Baldoni. This direct attack reinforces Kelly's truth-teller brand while fueling controversy. The PR strategy is provocation, banking on headlines to amplify her voice. Is her outrage real, or is she exploiting Lively's drama for clout? The pointed language feels calculated, designed to spark debate and keep her relevant in a crowded media landscape. It's less about Lively's merit and more about Kelly's narrative control.
All right. Some people there have accomplished so much, like Simone Biles. She was there. She spoke. Yeah. She's impressive by anybody's measure. I mean, she's just totally incredible. She's
Kelly lauds Simone Biles as the real deal, highlighting her inspiring story. This clip contrasts Biles' undeniable impact with others' questionable inclusion, bolstering Kelly's credibility as a discerning judge. The PR move is alignment with uncontroversial figures to gain audience goodwill. Is this genuine respect, or a strategic nod to a universally admired icon? Her effusive praise feels authentic, but conveniently serves to underscore her critique of less deserving honorees, strengthening her argument about the Gala's flaws.
Look, I worked at Time. This event, I'll use an in-play word, it's a scam. It's an advertising play. They use the leverage of 100+ years of a great journalism brand.
Calling the Time 100 a scam that hypes stars to sell tables, Kelly exposes the event's commercial underbelly. This bold claim cements her as a whistleblower, unafraid to challenge powerful institutions. The PR strategy is disruption, aiming to spark viral discussion. Is she truly disillusioned, or is this a calculated expose to boost her platform? The sharp, accusatory tone suggests she's banking on outrage clicks, knowing her audience craves insider takedowns of elite hypocrisy.
When you read headlines like every day about her and Justin.
I mean, I think she launched a fake Me Too allegation against him, and she's lived to regret doing it because virtually every allegation she has made has fallen apart. And so for her to be honored for doing that, to try to ruin a man over absolutely nothing, is a scandal. And obviously they're looking for big stars to come.
Kelly asserts Lively's Me Too accusations against Baldoni are falling apart fast. This clip intensifies her attack, framing Lively as untrustworthy. The PR strategy is moral authority, positioning Kelly as a defender of truth. Is her conviction real, or is she amplifying the scandal for attention? The definitive language feels like a deliberate stake in the ground, capitalizing on Lively's PR crisis to bolster her own credibility as a commentator.
But I do care when people bastardize Me Too allegations against, people who don't deserve it. And I think, notwithstanding the fact that they can lawyer up with very powerful PR people and lawyers and so on, we have to be very clear-eyed on what looks real and what doesn't and call it out when it isn't.
Kelly argues Lively's fake claims harm Me Too's credibility, elevating the stakes of her critique. This clip casts her as a protector of a serious movement, not just a gossip. The PR move is issue advocacy, aligning with a broader cause. Is she genuinely concerned, or using the movement to justify her attack? The somber tone suggests sincerity, but its timing after personal jabs hints at a strategic pivot to add weight to her narrative.
What does influence mean? How we use that matters. I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum.
Kelly notes Lively's speech about her mother's assault, emphasizing influence. This clip introduces Lively's attempt to pivot to a serious topic. The PR strategy is sympathy, using a personal story to repair Lively's image. Is this a heartfelt moment or a calculated plea? Kelly's neutral delivery here contrasts with her later critique, suggesting Lively's move is strategic, banking on emotional resonance to counter her tarnished reputation.
In an awards ceremony like this, she goes on, you heard it there, we don't let our daughters know, but one day we break their hearts by letting them in on the secret that we've kept from them as they pranced around in princess dresses that they are not and will likely never be safe.
Lively's claim that women are never safe anywhere is highlighted as overly dark. Kelly uses this to question Lively's tone, framing it as fear-mongering. The PR strategy is cause-driven rebranding, but it backfires. Is Lively's despair genuine or a scripted sob story? Kelly's critique implies calculation, suggesting Lively's team pushed a heavy narrative to shift focus from her scandal, misjudging the Gala's upbeat vibe.
Obviously, I don't want to minimize the horrible experience her mother had as she described it, but tonally, as you said, for the occasion, probably a little bit off key. But
Kelly calls Lively's speech more about despair than uplifting women, reinforcing its misstep. This clip cements her view of Lively's motives as image-driven. The PR strategy is deflection, but it's poorly executed. Is Lively truly passionate or desperately grasping for redemption? Kelly's analysis leans toward the latter, framing the speech as a calculated but tone-deaf attempt to regain public favor amid her ongoing controversy.
To me, it was evidence of how desperate she is to improve her standing in the public eye as a result of this battle she started with Justin Baldoni.
Kelly labels Lively's speech as desperation to fix her image, tying it to her Baldoni fallout. This clip sharpens the narrative of Lively's PR crisis. The strategy is victimhood, leveraging trauma for sympathy. Is Lively's emotion real or a performance? Kelly's blunt assessment suggests a scripted move, with Lively's team betting on a sobering speech to overshadow her legal and public relations woes, but failing to land it.
Really taken a serious hit. You know, she thought she was going to file this Me Too claim against him and sort of, with the human rights group and get the New York Times to write about it. And she was going to be elevated as a Me Too heroine.
Kelly says Lively expected Me Too heroine status, but faced backlash as Baldoni fought back. This clip underscores Lively's miscalculation. The PR strategy was elevation through activism, but it collapsed. Is Lively a misguided advocate or a schemer caught out? Kelly's tone implies the latter, framing Lively's gala appearance as a failed attempt to rewrite her narrative, undone by evidence and public skepticism.
Use the leverage of 100+ years of a great journalism brand. And they say to famous people and influential people, come be at the dinner, and you can tell people you're one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Then they say to their biggest advertisers, come sit at a table. You can sit with the Nobel Prize winner and Megyn Kelly.
Kelly exposes the Time 100 as leveraging its name to draw celebs and cash in on ads. This clip unveils the event's commercial core, framing it as a PR machine. The strategy is mutual branding, with Time and attendees boosting each other's profiles. Is Kelly's exposé sincere or a bid for relevance? Her sharp critique feels authentic, but conveniently fuels her outsider narrative, ensuring her voice cuts through the gala's hype.
I was inducted too. We're on the same path with these people. And Blake Lively has been in some movies and some successful TV shows, but in no world is this person one of the most influential people in America. This is part of what you say is the scam. And here is another thing I was wrestling with.
Kelly asserts Lively's time. 100 spot is for fame, not shaking up the world. This clip contrasts her with true influencers, exposing the gala's priorities. Lively's PR strategy is capitalizing on star power for legitimacy. Is her inclusion organic or a bought seat? Kelly's dismissive tone suggests a calculated placement, with Lively's team banking on her celebrity to mask her lack of substantive impact, aligning with the event's commercial goals.
Give a speech. They pick one or two, like I mentioned. Simone Biles was one. Blake Lively is another. She decided to make the whole thing about her mother's rape.
Kelly calls Lively's speech a strategic move to grab sympathy, tying it to her PR woes. This clip frames Lively's trauma narrative as manipulative. The strategy is emotional redirection, pivoting from scandal to advocacy. Is Lively's story genuine or a PR stunt? Kelly's skeptical lens leans toward calculation, suggesting Lively's team orchestrated the speech to reframe her as a victim, though its heavy tone undermined the effort.
Comment along those lines.
Correct.
And I don't mean to be impolite, but I'm not going to lie. I'm very outspoken about my opinion on this person on this show. Millions of people have already heard it. And in no world was I going to stand there and try to pretend like I didn't feel that. It just would have been a farce. But I have to tell you, it's pretty cathartic to say how you really feel.
Kelly declares she's not here to fake it, emphasizing her honesty. This clip solidifies her unfiltered persona, a core PR strategy of authenticity. Is her candor real or a crafted image? The defiant tone feels genuine, but its placement amid controversial clips suggests a deliberate flex, designed to rally her audience by contrasting her rawness with Hollywood's polished facades, keeping her in the spotlight.
I just said what was real. I did it. And it's very funny because you can see Doug, my husband, in the background, like, okay, here we go. This is happening. Then there was
Kelly calls. Her outspokenness, cathartic, no regrets, celebrating her red carpet zingers. This clip reinforces her brand as a fearless commentator. The PR strategy is doubling down on controversy to stay relevant. Is this her true self, or a performance for fans? The gleeful delivery suggests she's savoring the moment, strategically using her bluntness to generate buzz and solidify her niche in a drama-hungry media landscape.
Today, there are a bunch of headlines about that and me specifically hitting her on what I said I believe is a fake Me Too claim against Justin Baldoni.
Kelly acknowledges headlines about her lively jabs as the media doing its thing. This clip underscores the symbiotic relationship between her takes and media coverage. The PR strategy is leveraging controversy for exposure. Is she just observing or orchestrating the cycle? Her casual delivery suggests she's in on the game, strategically dropping bombs to ensure her name stays in the news, driving her platform's reach.
The allegations that she's launched against him have fallen apart, virtually every single one of them. Now, there's still going to be a trial. She'll have her day in court and all that, supposedly. But to me, there's something wrong with her.
Kelly warns Lively's debunked claims hurt Me Too's trust. This clip elevates her critique to a societal issue, framing her as a movement's defender. The PR strategy is moral high ground, gaining credibility. Is her concern heartfelt or a narrative tool? The serious tone feels sincere, but its timing after personal attacks hints at a calculated pivot to broaden her appeal, aligning with a cause to justify her stance.
On that actual list. But there is no universe, none, where Blake Lively would be on the list. And I was not surprised you said what you said, and I was not surprised that a lot of the media found it interesting.
Kelly contrasts Lively with Biles, saying her spot's about star power, not impact. This clip sharpens her critique of the Gala's priorities. Lively's PR strategy is leveraging fame for clout. Is her inclusion merit-based or bought? Kelly's dismissive tone points to calculation, suggesting Lively's team secured her. Spot to boost her image, exploiting the event's commercial bent to mask her lack of influence.
And I did manage to get my selfie, which you heard me reference there, with Doug and yours truly in the foreground. And she's in the back. You can see her right there. She's right behind me. And you can see the side view. She's having a chat with somebody.
Kelly gloats about her selfie with Lively in the background, calling it content gold. This cheeky clip reinforces her playful, confrontational brand. The PR strategy is engagement, winking at her audience. Is this spontaneous fun or a planned flex? The gleeful tone suggests calculation, as she milks the drama for social media buzz, knowing her fans will eat up the subtle shade.
My mom never got justice from her work acquaintance who attempted to take her life. She has always credited her beating heart today with a story she heard from another woman.
Kelly highlights Lively's story of her mother's survival, crediting another woman's courage. This clip sets up Lively's emotional pivot. The PR strategy is empathy, aiming to humanize her amid scandal. Is this a sincere tribute or a scripted sob story? Kelly's neutral delivery hints at skepticism, framing it as a calculated move by Lively's team to shift focus from her legal woes to a noble cause.
Daughters know, but one day we break their hearts by letting them in on the secret that we've kept from them as they...
Lively's claim that girls learn they're never safe is flagged as grim. Kelly uses this to critique its fear-driven tone. The PR strategy is advocacy, but it misfires. Is Lively's warning heartfelt or a PR ploy? Kelly's analysis leans toward the latter, suggesting it's a desperate attempt to reframe her image, but its heavy-handed delivery alienated the gala's celebratory mood.
To me, it was evidence of how desperate she is to improve her standing in the public eye as a result of this battle she started with Justin Baldoni.
Kelly calls Lively's speech an attempt to spin her PR nightmare. This clip nails her view of Lively's motives as image-driven. The PR strategy is damage control, using trauma for redemption. Is Lively's passion real or fabricated? Kelly's blunt tone suggests a calculated performance, with Lively's team betting on a serious speech to counter her scandal, but failing to shift the narrative.
Virtually every single one of them. Now, there's still going to be a trial. She'll have her day in court and all that, supposedly. But to me, there's something wrong with her to say the things she said when it's all being disproved, like on camera, where there's actual evidence.
Kelly cites camera evidence debunking Lively's allegations. This clip strengthens her case against Lively, framing her as uncredible. The PR strategy is factual counterattack, aligning with Baldoni's defense. Is Kelly's evidence focus genuine or selective? The confident tone suggests conviction, but its placement amid personal jabs hints at a strategic use of facts to bolster her narrative, appealing to her audience's sense of justice.
Ed, he lawyered up, and he got a great one, happens to be my own lawyer too, Brian Friedman, and started fighting her back on each and every claim. And as I've said, they started to fall apart. I mean, we've covered it extensively on this show.
Kelly notes Baldoni's lawyer tearing Lively's claims apart, emphasizing her PR crisis. This clip underscores Lively's faltering narrative. The PR strategy is legal escalation, with Baldoni's team shifting the story. Is Kelly's focus on this fair or biased? Her triumphant tone suggests she's relishing Lively's downfall, strategically amplifying Baldoni's counteroffensive to cement her critique and keep the drama alive.
Give a speech. They pick one or two, like I mentioned. Simone Biles was one. Blake Lively's another. She decided to make the whole thing about her mother's rape.
Kelly calls Lively's speech her team's attempt to make her a hero again. This clip frames it as a deliberate PR move. The strategy is rebranding, pivoting to activism. Is Lively's advocacy genuine or a facade? Kelly's skeptical tone points to calculation, suggesting her team saw the gala as a stage to reshape her image, but the speech's missteps undermined its impact.
Today, there are a bunch of headlines about that and me specifically hitting her on what I said I believe is a fake Me Too claim against Justin Baldoni.
Kelly notes her lively jab made headlines, calling it the media game. This clip highlights her savvy use of controversy. The PR strategy is amplification, turning shade into buzz. Is she just observing or orchestrating? Her knowing tone suggests she's playing the game, deliberately dropping quotable lines to dominate coverage, ensuring her narrative overshadows Lively's and keeps her platform thriving.
Look, I worked at Time. This event, I'll use an in-play word, it's a scam.
Kelly calls the Time 100 about stroking egos and advertisers, not journalism. This clip, used for our Hollywood PR Trends section, exposes the event's commercial core. The trend is manufactured influence, where brands like Time use celebrity to sell prestige, while stars leverage appearances for clout. Lively's inclusion and Kelly's takedown both feed this cycle, with PR teams orchestrating narratives for maximum exposure. Is this symbiosis genuine or pure business? The gala's curated guest list and media frenzy suggest a calculated dance, prioritizing profit over substance. The Time 100 Gala saga reveals Hollywood's intricate PR chessboard, where every move is calculated for impact. Kelly's blunt critiques and Lively's emotional speech clash in a battle for narrative control, exposing the gala's commercial heart. Yet, amidst the shade and spin, figures like Biles remind us of true influence. Is this all just a game of optics, or can authenticity still break through? The drama keeps us hooked, but it's the underlying quest for credibility that lingers, challenging us to question what influence really means.